Hey, this is Elias with Softly, and in this video I'm going to show you how to export metabox custom fields to Google Sheets using Zapier and WPL export. Now, to get started, we need a post type to export, and today we have this restaurants one, so let me open that for you. You can see that we have 1200 restaurants here, so let's go back to WPL export by going to All Export, New Export. And then I'm going to select restaurants from this pull down. Now WPL export, it's going to show us the amount of restaurants it finds. And you can see the number is exactly what we have here. So we could continue and customize our export file, or we could migrate all 4 restaurants without making any changes, right? So we're going to choose this customize export file option. So we can play around a little bit, maybe change a couple of things in the export file. But before that, let's open this option right here that says Add Filtering Options. And this is very useful for when you, I don't know, maybe you don't need to export all of the records, right? Maybe you only need a subtract of them. Since these are restaurants, let me show you real quick the fields we have here. All right. So we have a bunch of simple text fields, and this is just some address data like the street, country, state, and whatnot. And here we have a couple of time pickers, opening and closing times. And here we have open since, which is a date picker, right? And then we have here rating. Now, guys, this rating is a radio field, and it has a label, which is what you can see here, 5 stars, 4 stars, and whatnot. And it has a value. Now the values are 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And you can set this up in metabox, right? If you have some questions, you can just go to metabox documentation page and you will find your answer there. But it's very straightforward. So what we're going to do is use this rating element to filter the restaurants we don't want. So I'm going to click here and find my rating, right? You can see that here. And then for the rule, I'm going to say equal to or greater than 4. And then I'm going to add this rule. And just like that, we no longer have 1200 restaurants. Now we have 606 restaurants. Now these restaurants are the ones that have ratings 4 and above. So we're exporting only the best restaurants in our site. Now, since we have now all of the records we want to export, let's continue customizing our export file. All right. Now, you can think of this as the template. So these ID, title, and content elements are going to be our columns. Let me preview so you can see it better. And here we have our ID, our title, and our content. And all of these are different restaurants. So let me go back here and find this 19th hole here. And there you go. This description is this content right here, right? So let me dismiss this and get rid of this ID because we don't need that in this example. And to export metabox custom fields, we're going to need our metabox export add-on. So you can find that here on the right panel. So if you have that installed, you will find the section here in this right panel. So let's open that. And right out of the box, you will see 2 different kinds of elements. The ones in black letters are the field groups, right? So this field group contains all of these fields in green letters. So you can add one by one all of the green elements, and as you preview, you will see the data taking shape here. But if you wanted to make this a lot faster, you can just drag and drop the whole group, and as you can see, all of the elements contained in that group were automatically added. Now, if you had multiple groups, well, here we will have another black box element, and below that, other green ones. So, yeah, that's how it works. And since we have here all of our data, we could just go ahead and continue with our export. But let's click here on this title element so we can change this column name, and we're going to call it name because this is a restaurant, so restaurant name. It's cool. And then the content, we're going to call it description. Yeah. Save, preview. And there you go. We have changed our column names. That was pretty easy. So let's dismiss this. And Well, we could drag and drop some stuff. For example, if you wanted the gallery to be like here, you could do that, all right? And maybe the cuisine and the writing are very important too. So let's bring this to the beginning of the file and preview again. And there you go, right? Now, guys, here for the rating, maybe we could be a little bit more explicit, right? Because it says rating at 5. So let's click here and let's select custom export field. And we're gonna drag and drop our rating here. And I'm gonna add a space and typing stars, right? And we're gonna call this rating. Save, preview. And here it is. That's more readable, 5 stars, and this one 4 stars, 5 stars again, and so on and so forth. Right? So here is our gallery, and the gallery we could maybe change the value we want to export this, because maybe we don't want the media URL, maybe you just want the file name or the media ID. That's up to you guys. Then for the map address, street, country, state, city, this is just simple text, so now we can just leave this as it is. Now for the opening and closing times, and maybe the open scenes fields, let me preview again. We can do some interesting stuff, because maybe you want, I don't know, a more friendly format for the times and the dates. So we can do this in WPL export by clicking here on the time or date elements, right? And you can see here the date format. Now this will accept any PHP valid format. You can Google that if you have some questions, but it's very straightforward. Now, the format I want is this G and A. So let me save and preview. So you can see the difference, right? So here is the one we modified, right? Opening time, and it says 11 a.m. And the closing time is 11 p.m., but it has the default format. So let's change that. Dismiss, closing time. And here we're gonna type in again, GA. Save, preview, and there you go, right? It's that easy, guys. Now let's change the open scenes time, because maybe again we want something more readable, more friendly. So let's click on open scenes, and for the open scenes we're gonna say D, comma, F, J, and Y. Save, preview, and here it is, right? This is more readable, so that's cool. Now, let's dismiss this, and right, guys, so that's pretty cool. Now, as you notice, we used some PHP elements to modify our data, but this is not the only thing you can do with PHP in WPL export. For example, let's take this gallery element. All right, so if I zoom in, you will see we have different URLs here, right? This is another one, but they are separated with pipes. Now, if we wanted to separate this with, I don't know, guys, say a comma and a space, right? We could use a quick PHP function to do it. Now, let's just open the gallery element, and I have my function ready, so I'm just gonna paste that in, and then I'm gonna save my function, copy the name of my function here, and enable this feature that says export the value returned by a PHP function. Now, I'm gonna paste the name of my function here, and this function, which is this one right here, it's going to run on this value, and this value is whatever field you have here, right? So if you want to run this on the ID, you need to select the ID from here. So if you need to run this on the ID, you need to select the ID from here, right? Now let's save this, preview, and here you go, right? We have changed our pipes with commas, right? So it's that easy, guys, and there is really no limit to what you can do here with PHP. And if you have some questions on how to do that, or maybe you don't know that much PHP, well, you can go to our website at wplimport.com, click on the docs menu, and in the developer section, we have a lot of examples that you can use and modify to your advantage. You can even use ChatGPT if you really don't know anything about PHP, and in doing so, it's a great way to learn and extend the WPL export functionality. Now, guys, as I was saying before, I believe we have covered pretty much everything here. The only thing we maybe haven't mentioned is this previews element. Now, this previews element is a metabox clonable group. You can see that here, right? So we have clusters of elements. We have this customer name, comments, and review ratings. And as you can see, here we have that again, and again, and again. And if I add here more, you will see the fields are going to be repeating infinitely, right? So this is a metabox clonable group. Now, the way this works in WPL export, just out of the box, is separating them in 3 columns. Well, not 3 columns, in as many columns as they are fields inside that metabox clonable group. So if you had 4 fields inside that group, well, you will see here 4 columns, right? So let me zoom in so you can see that better. You can see we have here reviews and then the subfield name. Reviews, which is the name of the clonable group, and then the subfield name. And those values are separated with pipes, right? So you can see here Raymond O'Brien, pipe, then Sally Morgan, then pipe, then Christian Ford. Then you can see here this comment, which is the one for Raymond O'Brien, and this review is the one for Raymond O'Brien, and this review is the one for Sally Morgan, and this comment is the one for Sally Morgan, and so on and so forth, right? So this is what WPL export will give you out of the box. But if you wanted, you could change that. So let's open the metabox clonable group element and enable this option that says display each repeated row in its own CSV line. Now we're not going to use this other option just yet, just so you can see what happens. So let me save this and preview again. Right, so here under the reviews clonable group, we have Raymond O'Brien, but oh, where are the others, right? Well, they are just below that, right? Here they are. And as you can see, they are all in separate CSV lines, right? This is pretty cool, and it does look nicer, but you can see that we no longer have here the rest of the data, right? This is another restaurant, so that's why it's showing right here. This is 3W taverns, not 19 whole. So if we wanted to populate all of this data, we could open again the metabox clonable group element and enable this option that says fill in empty columns. Now, if enabled, each repeated row will appear as its own CSV line with all of the post info filled in for every column. Now let's save so you can see how this looks. Right, so we have here Raymond O'Brien and here we have Sally Morgan, but you can see that we have the rest of the data here too. So that's pretty cool. Now guys, there is really not a right or wrong way to do this. It kind of depends on how you need your data. And as you can see, WPL export gives you a lot of flexibility with that. So I believe we're ready here. So let's just continue with our export. All right, and here we have some advanced settings for exports. So the first ones are the scheduling options, and this is pretty cool. We have 2 options for that. The first one is the automatic scheduling service, and this is a paid service, guys. It costs $9 a month, but it will allow you to set up a schedule right here in WordPress, right? So this is very convenient. You can select the days you want to run this export on, and then you can select the times, right? So that's very easy. But if you wanted to use a free service for your schedulings, you can use cronjobs. And cronjobs, like I said, are free. They're just a little bit more technical. But not to worry, we have great documentation on how to do that here. So if you want to use cronjobs, just click on this link and follow the steps there. But if you, even after reading that document and maybe watching a couple of videos, you find yourself with more questions, you can always contact our support team and we will be more than happy to help you out. Now, for this example, we're not going to use this, so I'm going to close this up. And these settings are pretty much self-explanatory, so if you read them, you will know what they do. But you can always hover on the question mark and it will give you more details about what all of these options do, right? Now, let's just confirm and run this, and it should be fairly quick, but let's just give it a few seconds and I will come back when it's ready. Alright guys, so the WPL export is finished getting our data, and we can download a CSV with all of it right now, or we can download a bundle, and a bundle is basically a zip file with a bunch of data and settings that you can use to migrate all of this data using WPL import. Now, we have other videos for that, so if that's something that interests you, just look for that in our YouTube channel and you will find it. Now here we have the scheduling options again, in case you missed it in the last step. And finally, we have the External Apps tab. Now, here is a video on how to connect WPL export with Zapier, which is what we're going to do. So if you want to see that, you can do it, but we're just going to connect this anyways. So let's just continue. We can click here on this link, and it will take us to the Zapier and WPL export integration page. So let's click on this button. Now, if you don't have any accounts here, you can create one for free. But if you do, well, just click on that button and you will be taken here. And this is a basic SAP. It's empty, but it's convenient because it already has the WPL export trigger selected, right? So you can click on it and just select the event you want, which in this case is new export file. Now let's continue. And for the account, I'm going to sign in. A window will pop out, and you will need an API key and the website URL. So not to worry, this is very simple. Just go here to all export settings, right? And here is your Zapier integration section, and here is the API key. So let's copy that, go back here to this window, paste our API key here. And for the website URL, we're just gonna copy this one right here and paste that in the box. Now let's continue and go back to Zapier. And all right, then let's test our trigger, and this should be fairly quick. There you go. This is all of the data Zapier found in WPL export. So this is the website URL, the file name, post type, and whatnot. And here is the records in the export file. So let's continue. And then we need an action. For the action, we're going to use Google Drive. So let's select that, choose an event. And the event we're going to use is replace a file. So you can just look for that there and select that, continue, and connect a Google Drive account. Now this is very simple. So let's click on the sign in button. Just authorize Zapier to access Google. All right, continue. Now here on the drive, I'm going to choose my Google Drive. Then for the folder, I'm going to leave it blank because my file isn't in any custom folders. But if yours is, just select the folder from here. Then the file to replace, it's going to be this restaurants one. So I'm going to select that. And as you can see, it has nothing on it. So let's go back to Zapier. And then for the file, I'm going to say export file. And convert to document, I'm going to say true. For the file name, I'm going to say just restaurants. Cool. And that's it. Let's continue and test our step. All right. Now all of this is ready. So I'm just going to give this a name. I'm going to call it just restaurants. All right. And I'm going to publish my SAP. All right, so this is ready. As you can see, we don't have anything here on these Google Sheets. So let's go back to WPL export, click on manage exports, and run our export again. All right, so as I said before, guys, this is gonna take a few seconds. So let's just let it run and come back when it's ready. All right. So let's go back to Google Sheets, and it should reload in any second once Zapier finish processing our data, and there you go. Right, so here is all of our data, guys, and you can see that we have all of our fields. We even have the custom export field we created with the stars. Then here for the opening and closing times, you can see that we have the right values. Same here in the open scenes field, and here the gallery. Let me open that. All right, so I don't know if you guys can see it, but we do have our comma and a space, which, remember, this is a quick PHP function we ran, so that's good. And then we have our reviews elements, and all of them are in separate CSV lines, so that's neat. And that's it, guys. That's all it takes to export metabox fields to Google Sheets using Zapier and WPL export. Now guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you're interested in learning how to import all of this data, or if maybe you're not using Metabox but Jet Engine or ACF, you can import and export that data with WPL import and WPL export too. Just check out the other videos in our channel or check out our website at wplimport.com. For now, thank you for watching and see you next time.